head coach Victor Santa Cruz. Tough game on Saturday. That's back-to-back very close games, very tough competition with GNAC football. What is your mindset, with another GNAC game coming up this week?
Yeah, well, your mindset is just to get back to work, stick with the process. We know that the GNAC conference is one of the toughest conferences out there, and our team is playing good football, but I feel like we can't get out of fourth gear with a lot of things and get moving. But in light of it all, the perspective you have is, hey, just get back to work, begin to move forward, begin to do your very best to be self-critical and also control what you can control, and what you can't control, move on from that. I know this past few days had some perspective. Western Oregon lost a football player, Nicholas Lingheim, in a car accident, so our heart goes out to the GNAC family. I know, on Friday night, our own free safety, DeAndre Jefferson, lost his sister and his niece in a car accident, and he still played the game, and so our heart goes out to Leandre. And so, as much as quote painful as a loss is, the perspective of it is, and I try to help our guys understand, is this life is so much bigger. And so we're going to get back to work, and we're going to make sure the team fixes the little things that you need to be able to succeed in this league, because everybody has athletes, everybody's going to play great football. It's the little things we always talk about that make you extraordinary, and we're going to do a little extra.
Victor, I know we talked about week-to-week philosophy and planning. It's no bigger than this week's week 3 to week 4.
Right.
Huge.
Right. Yeah. So you're back on the road again this week, and you're back getting a chance to play football. A little different between basketball and baseball is that we got to wait a whole week to play again. But for us, we need the week to get the work in, and we can't just go through the routine of a week. This week will come and go. We can't go through routine, so it's going to take a lot of focused work. And sometimes when you're going into a week 3 to week 4, the challenge you have now is there's so much going on with school, there's so much going on with life, there's so much. So to make the deep change is pretty difficult. But you need to have a focused change. And so if we can get that focused mindset on the things, we're in the film room to see that, to take the corrections. Don't let your ego get in the way, because sometimes when you're in the film room, players are more concerned, I don't want to be called out, and that's not a good thing either. So we're trying to teach them the maturity of what is accountability, the discipline of it. Discipline equals freedom, so the more you have that discipline and accountability in your life, the more you're able to find the freedom to play fast and say, okay, man, somebody's really teaching me how to do this game. We had some breakdowns in the game that, we got to fix. And, I don't like right now the defensive run game, how we're stopping the run. I think we're giving way too much, and so we'll work on that. And also, right now, we have 3 opportunities where we're in their territory, and we only come up with 3 points. And so, those are all the things. We're going to become even more physical of a football team, and we're going to play faster, and that conviction that was made us our brand, who we are, because anything less is unacceptable. And so we will begin to do that even more.
Your 0-2 start is probably these 2 games, the 2 closest games of all the years you've been coaching. I mean, this is still a championship caliber team, I feel. The 0-2 start, it's just, it's the mindset of the players and everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's still a championship team.
No, it is, and that's the brilliance of football that I love. Why I love coaching it, because I don't care if you're winning or losing. You're managing 120 personalities with all the 120 other agendas going on and the life going on. And so to be able to create the environment that is going to say, okay, there's unity, there's buy-in, winning, losing, whatever it is, there's a standard being set. And that's what we're trying to convey with our players is that, hey, there's a standard. And you're right, championship opportunities are still available. But right now, I think where some people, they start to get into, is there still a chance? Listen, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what's your brand, what's your product, what is the brand you? What are you putting out in practice every day? When they walk away from the game of football, what I care about, they learn more is, what am I every single day? And because there's going to be days when you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And those are going to be the days that make the most significant impacts in your life. So just because there's no fruit in regards to the W column, they need to know that, hey, there is still a lot of fruit. Like you said, this is a very good football team that has to get better. And because you're playing against other teams that are great football teams too. And in this league, everybody is clawing and scratching to say how to be the best. That's why I have so much pride in the championships we've won in this league, because I know how hard it takes, how much work it takes to win a championship in this league. And you see it in the last 2 GNAC contests where they're close games. And when I shake hands with the other opponent after the game, I see it in their eyes and their coach's eyes. We all have a mutual respect of it, and we all understood how much it took just to even get ready for that game. So we're going to just come back to a winning attitude and a winning process. And after that, when you focus so much on the outcome, you're going to get lost. And we're not going to get lost down that way. We're going to say, hey, let's focus on managing the moment and win today.
I asked Joe about, he made the comment, I said, what did Victor mean by circle date? Well, now I know it.
Yeah.
The circle date, the target,
yeah.
You're number 8, you're the target
yeah.
at the beginning of the season. So
yeah.
That's each week, that's got to be
yeah.
tough, you know?
Yeah, and that's we have a lot of pride in the program. We want to be that game. Yep. It's shown a lot about how the program has come up from relative obscurity to now you're in a Division II powerhouse type of threshold. And so everybody understands, and I know Simon Fraser understands, that, hey, we're coming to town and they're going to give us their absolute best game. We expect that. We love that kind of football. And that's why we love playing the game. That's why, every contest we're going into, our coaches and our players, is that when we play that game and you win that game, we understand, man, you earned an amazing piece of fruit there. And so, but right now it's like we got to get moving forward. You stick with the process, and was there pain to the loss? Yes, we're human beings, but you move forward. Saturday night, go home, trying to set the dogs up because I'm going to bed. I want to get a good night's sleep. Break my toe, catch it in the corner. Break a toe. What do you do though? I got to move on. Life moves on. I tape it up. It's black and blue. Whatever. I got to keep moving. All right. So you're moving on, and you keep moving forward, and you keep the hunt going.
Yeah. So moving on, what have you seen from Simon Fraser that you're looking to exploit, maybe offensively, or what have they done well that you need to shut down from their offensive standpoint?
Yeah, well, with Simon Fraser, the number one thing that you got to understand, they play extremely hard. There's a proud bunch. Kelly does a great job leading them. They haven't had the record to show for, I think, the efforts that they give. Offensively, their quarterback is able to move. He's a lefty. He's got a quick release. Their O-line is able to is very good at just, the speed of their O-line. Defensively, their D-line is I think, playing amazing football. And they made some in the last game. They made some of their own adjustments. They moved one of their strong safety to boundary corner, and I thought he did a lights-out job of playing against a great receiver at Humboldt State. So they're on their own journey, as we are too, and I anticipate it to be a tough physical game like it always is when you play Simon Fraser. But more the bigger issue is, us getting better at us and keeping that edge that makes us so successful in the past. There's a standard we have here, and Stephen, we're going to keep that standard up. Because you put an AP jersey on doesn't make you a champion. It makes you privileged to put you on that AP jersey on, but now you got to go take it all. You got to take the land. You got to have that fierceness about you in the trenches. You got to have that fierceness about you wherever opportunity you have to understand that this is the big play, and I want to give that extra effort.
Coach, one of the characteristics of your defense, especially over the last couple of years, turnovers,
yeah.
winning the turnover battle, and you guys got a few on Saturday.
Yeah.
How do you build that mindset within your team?
Yeah, it's an everyday mindset, like you said. It becomes the standard in our culture. If a practice doesn't end with a lot of turnovers, well, it's a disappointing day. And so the defense knows going into the practice is that, hey, we have to get turnovers. We've got to constantly be stripping at the ball. So it isn't something we just do a few drills for. If it's an hour and 45-minute practice, then it's an hour and 45 minutes of emphasizing turnovers with every finish to every play. Right now, it's all about the ball in football. You get the ball back, you get more opportunities than their offense does, your chances of winning go way up.
Coach, like Steven said, moving forward, but I have to ask you, or not ask
Please.
you, just this comment, I want to make sure I get this right. Senior strong safety, Taliuaki Sulifu, correct?
Suliafu, yeah.
Okay. You got to love what a player like this. First of all, I said philosophy is to put your knuckles on the leather. I love this game like this, which forces you to play to the last second. You have to play the clock to a hit zero. You got to love a guy like that.
Yeah, I love, Milwaukee, it's a shame this is his last year. You've seen him grow up in the program. He epitomizes what the program's about. We talk about warrior man. Milwaukee is that. He's doing a great job of leading on the defense. He's in a backfield where he's really the one senior representative. And so he's got a lot of tribal knowledge that he's trying to pass on now to all of our younger secondary guys. And so that's something to be mentioned that, where I like what Milwaukee's doing is with all the newness we have on defense, he's bringing that warrior spirit and he's bringing that edge about it, trying to pass it on to everybody. And so he's infectious, man. That guy, dude's he's a lights out, hair on fire kind of guy. You want him, you want a lot more of him. But I'm really proud about who he is and what he's become as a man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Last thing I've got, Coach. That highlight from the end of the game, 27 seconds of just craziness. Give me two perspectives on that. One, just what's going through your mind for those 27 seconds, but then also as you maybe had a chance to look at it again a couple more times, just kind of the appreciation for everybody tries to do that when they're in that situation. Very few teams. It just never happens. To actually see it live, regardless of the penalty, to see it go all the way through. Just how do you react to that?
Well, you appreciate Gabe Heigert, our special teams coordinator, because we've practiced it on a consistent basis for ever since camp. So Gabe does a good job of trying to think through every single scenario, and so when we went out there and said, okay, this is the time, the kids had a good little reference about, hey, here's how it's going to go, but then also just to see the awareness of the timing, because when you to pitch it backwards, you've got to know how far can I take it forward and then not get so tangled up that I still have the opportunity to do it. And that was a lot of fun, and so, as a head coach, you're doing this long enough, you're like, all right, there's a lot just happened. You look around and you're looking for the flag. So I'm scanning, and all of a sudden I see it because their head coach is pointing really hard at it, and I'm seeing them jumping up and down over there, and I go, and at that moment I'm like, okay, they're going to try it. The odds of it being a face mask against Central Washington are pretty low. It is what it is. It was a lot of fun for the moment, and for that brief second, man, the crowd going nuts, all that was great. We got to make sure, though, it comes down to we can put it away before that. We don't want to have to go to that to have to win a game. We had our chance. We don't want to diminish anything about Central Washington, how good of a game they played. We're going to get better.